Hi dear students, let's see this question that came in JEE Advanced Paper-1 Physics in the year 2018. The question is from the topic of magnetism, basically a trajectory followed by a charged particle in a constant magnetic field. The question is easy, however, because of a particular thing, the question became slightly controversial in nature. So let's see what we are talking about. In this question, it is given that above the x-axis, the value of magnetic field is B1 and directed towards us. That means it is coming out of the screen. And below the x-axis, the value of magnetic field is B2. Direction is same, that it is coming out towards us. The value of B2 is 4 times B1. This is given in the question. Okay. Now a charged particle is projected at the speed of pi meter per second from the origin along y-axis, right? So particle, we can see that it is projected perpendicular to the magnetic field. Now it is said that we have to find the average speed along the x-axis at the time when particle crosses x-axis from below. Okay, from below. So we will see what does this mean. So we have to find the average speed along x-axis. You can read this. Let t equals to t be the time when particle crosses x-axis from below for the first time. The average speed of the particle along the x-axis in this time interval. Okay. Now it's very easy to see that in the upper half of this, like above the x-axis, particle is going to follow this kind of trajectory, right? Because you can see that v cross b, velocity is towards y and magnetic field is towards us, so v cross b is pointing in along somewhere in this direction, and hence center of the circle is going to lie over here. Okay, now in this case when it comes down, so velocity will remain the same because magnetic field cannot change the speed, but the center of the circle will be somewhere on the left side because velocity vector is going down and magnetic field is towards us. So v cross b, if you look at the direction, center will be somewhere over here. Okay, if you find the radius of the circle in the top half, so r1 can be written as mv by qb, right? Similarly, r2 can be written as mv by q into 4b because b2 is given as 4 times b1. So it's very easy to see that radius in the bottom half will be 1 by 4th of the radius in the top half. Hence, we can see that it will follow this kind of trajectory where this radius will be 1 by 4th of the top radius. Right. Now we have to find the average speed along the x-axis. So here comes the catch. First we'll find the time. So the top time will be like this time in the top half will be, we can say t1 will be 2 pi root of 2 pi m by bq hota hai, 2 pi m by bq. So 2 will not be there because we are talking about half oscillation, half path, half circles rather, pi m by qb. Similarly t2 if you find out, t2 if you find out, then you are going to get pi m by q into 4b. So these are this will be total time. T1 plus T2 is capital T. Okay, so T1 plus T2 is capital T. Now the catch is you have to find the average speed along the x-axis. So there can be two interpretations. Let's say what is happening along the x-axis. So if you see particle is going like this, particle is going like this. Okay, this is the actual trajectory followed by the particle. Along the x-axis, particle is, we can say, the projection of the particle or projection of the location of the particle. If you take along x-axis, then particle is going like this and it comes back. So one way of interpreting this as like what is the distance along x-axis? One way of interpreting is that 2r1 plus 2r2, this is the total distance. So one way can be 2r1 plus 2r2 divided by t1 plus t2. Now v is given as pi. If you put all these values, just put r1 here, r2 here, t1 here, t2 here, just put v equals to pi here. So you're going to get 2. This will become 2. Okay, v average. On the other hand, one interpretation could have been, if we just see initial and final, then eventually the distance along x-axis is this only. Like we are not concerned with कि बीच में क्या हुआ, we are just saying कि x-axis के along particle यहाँ से यहाँ पे पहुंचा है. Now I know many of you will have a problem with that कि ये तो displacement होता है, but we are being asked distance. So I'll come to that point. But as of now, just if we find this average, मतलब इस चीज का एवरेज निकालें, assuming कि ये चीज डिस्टेंस है, इसको डिस्टेंस मान के अगर सॉल्व करेंगे तो आंसर विल बी 2r1 minus r2 divided by t1 plus t2 and this will become 1.2. Okay, now we will see कि why this is also a correct answer. So पहले IIT ने खाली 2 आंसर करेक्ट लिया था, बट इवेंचुअली फाइनल की में 2 और 1.2 दोनों को मार्क्स दिए गए थे, मतलब फाइनली आफ्टर डिस्कशन दोनों दोनों करेक्ट आंसर माने गए थे, 2 एज वेल एज 1.2. नाउ लेट्स रियलाइज कि व्हाई व्हाई इट इज लाइक दैट कि यू नो कि दोनों आंसर करेक्ट लिए गए हैं. ठीक है, मतलब इसको डिस्टेंस क्यों माना गया है. ठीक है, तुम ऐसे सोचो कि एक्स जब ये पार्टिकल, जैसे अपन यहाँ से यहाँ की बात करें, अपन यहाँ से यहाँ की बात करते हैं लेट अस से. ठीक है, तो अगर मैं यहाँ से यहाँ की भी बात करूं खाली, तो भी इवेंचुअली एक्स एक्सिस के अलोंग डिस्टेंस का मतलब डिस्प्लेसमेंट ही हो रहा है. दैट मीन्स चाहे पार्टिकल, जैसे कोई, जैसे मान लो पार्टिकल कोई भी ट्रेजेक्टरी फॉलो कर रहा है, रैंडम ट्रेजेक्टरी, ऐसे 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 कुछ भी फॉलो कर रहा है, अगर मैं एक्स एक्सिस की बात करता हूँ तो एक्स एक्सिस के अलोंग डिस्टेंस का कोई मीनिंग नहीं है. डिस्टेंस का मतलब ही पाथ लेंथ होता है. तो अगर आप एक्स एक्सिस के लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस की बात कर रहे हो, फिर टॉकिंग अबाउट एक्स एक्सिस के लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस, तो उसका इवेंचुअल मतलब फिर तो अपन यही बोलेंगे ना कि यहाँ से यहाँ तक का ये डिस्टेंस, राइट. तो वो डिस्प्लेसमेंट जैसा ही निकलता है. ठीक है, तो बहुत सारे फिजिक्स के प्रॉब्लम में व्हेन यू आर व्हेन यू आर आस्क्ड, वैसे डिस्टेंस अलोंग एक्स एक्सिस का कोई सेंस नहीं है. ठीक है, डिस्प्लेसमेंट पूछा जाना चाहिए था अलोंग एक्स एक्सिस, बट अगर डिस्टेंस वर्ड यूज भी कर दी गई है तो उसको डिस्प्लेसमेंट जैसे ही इंटरप्रेट किया जाता है बहुत सारे फिजिक्स के प्रॉब्लम में. एंड हेंस इस प्रॉब्लम में भी अगर अपन ये बोले कि एक्स एक्सिस के अलोंग कितना डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल हुआ है, तो ठीक है, ये इंटरप्रिटेशन जिसको लेना है वो ले सकता है, बट बेटर इंटरप्रिटेशन यही होना चाहिए था. इसलिए आईटी ने फाइनली 1.2 को भी करेक्ट आंसर लिया. सो आई होप यू वुड हैव अंडरस्टूड. आई होप यू वुड हैव appreciated the solution. That was from my side. That's it. Thank you.